It was for a brief moment. Lauren made a surprise attack and aimed it at his opponent's jaw, but William Castro withdrew his sword swiftly and was able to block it. There was definitely a reason why he was evaluated to be in Class D. He was humiliated. He almost got hit by Lauren. This was different than usual. Lauren, who couldn't show his skills properly due to his timid personality, was showing his will and determination this time. He didn't know what qualification Roman wanted, but if he proved his worth here by winning the test, he hoped to become like Roman Dimitri. Dimitri's fool, whose existence changed and was once ridiculed by people, ignited a flame in Lauren's heart. After talking to Roman, he found the strength to face his fears, so he pushed his body forward toward his opponent. Lauren tried to attack with confidence. William was blocking Lauren attacks. William Castro, whose expression distorted for a moment, began to strike down Lauren's sword with an angry face. Seriously? This bastard, for real? Began to strike down Lauren's sword with an angry face. The attack missed. Lauren rushed forward, evading William's attack and swing his sword aimed at William's head. That was it. He tried to attack, and this was the last scene Lauren remembered. When he opened his eyes, the surroundings were quiet. He wanted to get up and check the surroundings. It was a close match. It was the professor. He was in charge of the test. He let the students go and stayed behind on the training ground. A small difference. As William's attack was about to hit your head, you raised your arm quickly to block the attack. If you had failed to stop the attack, you wouldn't have ever woken up, even if it was a wooden sword, the professor said. Still, today you were pretty good. The Lauren Dimitri I watched wasn't lacking in talent. There's a lot of room for improvement, but you have always been scared and withdrawn, which kept you from performing at your best. So, I purposely put you up against William Castro. In the last spar in today's test, I knew that William would bully you, but I thought that you had to overcome this to become a swordsman. Lauren's eyes widened. The professor was stingy in giving praise. As he always pitted Lauren against Castro, Lauren assumed the man hated him. He wasn't expecting a compliment. Are you speaking the truth? Would I lie to a student? You need to trust yourself a little more. At your age, the tallest and most powerful kids might seem like the strongest ones in the world, but in reality, you and William aren't much different. Neither of you knows how to use aura. In the first place, if he had such overwhelming talent that you couldn't touch it, he should be up in Class S like your older brother instead of being in Class D, so do not be afraid of such things. Normally in swordsmanship, if you lose your cool, everything is lost. It was surprising. Lauren didn't know that his professor felt this way. Thank you very much. He suddenly wanted to see Roman. How would he rate this match? Damn it, it was William. He was enraged due to the match. Calm down! William, please calm down! His friends tried to stop him, but they could do nothing. William was a guy whose outbursts were unpredictable, even for those he considered friends. Lauren Dimitri, how dare you mock me? Lauren, how dare he looked at me with those eyes just because he picked up some courage? Well, this cannot last any longer. Lauren, I am going to break at least one of your arms. Do you have to go to that extent? Right. That is a bit much. Don't you know who Lauren Dimitri's older brother is? It is Roman Dimitri, who defeated the Hector Kingdom and is now called Cairo's hero. If things go wrong, it will turn into a problem of families. It was Roman who represented the Dimitri family now, not Rodwell. His friends were right. But the immature child, who knew nothing of this world, looked down on the Dimitri family. Cairo's hero? What can they do if I touch Lauren? Would they be able to touch me? The eldest son of the Castro family? My father and Marquis Benedict have been friends since childhood. No matter what I do, no one in Cairo can touch me. The family of Castro was too powerful, so they couldn't disobey William. His eyes were blazing with rage and murderous intent. Even he is a hero. This is the limit of family line that you are born into. I will show them that nothing matters in front of true authority, he said. Bring Lauren Dimitri to me right now. It's fine if you have to hit him to knock him out. His friends exchanged glances as they realized the decision had been made. It was then. Say that again. Everyone turned their heads. Roman Dmitri. A man stood at the break room's entrance. The man with an unfamiliar face spoke with a cold expression. Tell me again what you do to my sibling? They felt shocked. Even William Castro, who had been so confident till then, couldn't speak out hastily when he faced Roman. However, because the water had been spilled, William Castro spoke with poisonous, hateful eyes. Right, I can tell you if you want. I said to bring the guy who doesn't know his place in front of me. Grab. Roman reached out and grabbed William's coat. He couldn't escape. William's expression looked like he saw a ghost at what happened in an instant, and Roman looked down at him with cold eyes. Roman was so fast that no one saw when he passed them and reached out to William. Do you know what mistake you made? Bullying is fine. Lauren is a kid who doesn't know what kind of background and power he has and is simply dumb, and I am not a nanny who is going to take care of him. Maybe I wouldn't have even stepped in if he was going to be bullied, as usual, but… Lauren passed Roman's test. At least, from the moment he showed the will to fight, Roman accepted him as his younger brother. The problem is that I saw it. I listened to all of you bully Lauren and look down on Dmitri. I am Roman Dmitri, and you ignored my family. Then, what prize should I get from you for those actions? Clench. He clenched his hands. William looked like he was going to faint. He couldn't even try to attack. All he did was swing his arms to try and escape. And he let go of him. Bring me to your family estate right now. Seeing William inhaling and gasping with a pale face. What did you say? It was time. Roman wanted a cause. Now that the status of the Dmitri family was changing, an event worthy of it was needed. I want to experience what real power is like. So guide me to your family right now. If an immature child makes a mistake, shouldn't the parents be responsible for that mistake? On a lazy afternoon, Count Castro had tea with a person. Are you saying everyone rejected you? Don't even ask. Even when I said gold and silver treasures would be given and a title of nobility too, not a single person blinked an eye. The person on the opposite side was Count Fabius. He, who had been on his feet till yesterday, complained about the situation, which didn't result in profit. That is why I hate dealing with commoners. These guys don't even want success when the path is wide open. Be patient, Count. If they are born lowly, they must be unable to see even an inch ahead. Both the counts were members of the same noble side and had a good relationship. Since they had similar personalities, they were able to get close pretty fast and met often. Count Castro said. But is Roman Dmitri that great? Yes. Would Marquis Benedict risk his life to sign Roman Dmitri for nothing? I am saying this because I know you, Count, but there are also talks about making him his son-in-law. He was shocked. Marquis Benedict considered his daughter a treasure. If he was arranging for her to get married to Roman, then his value couldn't be less. If you have a chance, set me up on a meeting with him. It was a friendly atmosphere. In the noble world, friendship was important. These small interactions eventually developed into a relationship that attracted and pushed each other. And right then, the sound of someone knocking on the door made Count Castro turn his attention. What is it? The door opened. Before the guards could even say anything, a man with a familiar face pushed himself inside. Father! He was William Castro. At first, they couldn't understand the situation. His son looked angry, and the man who followed could be recognized immediately as Roman Dmitri, whom he saw at the feast. Why is Roman Dmitri here? He looked at his son with suspicious eyes. And William Castro said in a voice brimming with anger, Father! Do you know what that man, Roman Dmitri, did to me? He is a mere commoner, and he dares to threaten me, the eldest son of the Castro family. At that moment, the atmosphere turned cold, and the anger wasn't directed at Roman. As he listened to his son, Count Castro couldn't hide his shock. Damn it. Normally, he would not have forgiven any man who touched his son, but it was a different story if the opponent was Roman Dmitri. I want you to punish him immediately. Shut up. His words were cut short, making William look at his father in shock. His father had never been this angry towards him till now. Father? William, do you know who you are talking about? Roman Dmitri is the hero who saved Cairo. Even if you don't have the utmost respect for him, how dare you say such nonsense? It was a different situation from what he expected. William Castro was shocked. Count Castro grabbed him by the neck and dragged him alone, and threw him in front of Roman. He deliberately threw his son and said, looking at Roman, I really apologize for these actions. I don't know what happened, but I will make certain that this does not happen again and that he is severely punished. Please let go of any anger. If you have some time to spare, how about a cup of tea with me? This was a slick way to change the topic. Having done this, no man would refuse the apology. And Count Castro had a smile, knowing this was a chance to make a connection with Roman. But Roman responded with a cold expression. To accept your apology or not is not for you to decide, that is for me to decide. Silence lingered. Count Castro looked bewildered, and Count Fabius held his breath at this. Count Castro was expecting his apology to be accepted. Even when such a noble bowed his head first, Roman Dmitri spoke in an aggressive voice. This is a problem that stems from the mistake made by your son, William Castro. William bullied my brother for no reason. If it was decent bullying, I wouldn't have gotten involved in their business. But today, he said he would break the arm of my brother, Lauren Dmitri, right in front of me. What do you want me to do? What will you do if a man threatens to break your son's arm right in front of you? He was speechless. No, he didn't think that his son had touched his younger brother. Count Castro broke out in a cold sweat as he couldn't come up with an answer. Words exert their power the moment they are uttered. William was ready to put those words into action, and I can no longer stand by. So what will you do? You can't possibly break my son's arm, can you? In order to maintain a good relationship in the future, we must find a middle ground. Count Castro looked a bit angry. His son's mistake? He understood that if the opponent was Roman Dmitri, he was fine with apologizing. But Count Castro didn't like Roman's attitude, which was cornering a noble of the central government. Roman said, William must go to my brother, get down on both knees, and apologize. In front of everyone, speak about his wrongdoing and ask for forgiveness. After that, he should also drop out of the academy. I don't want scum like this guy in the same room as my brother. This was the statement that crossed the line. As Count Castro's anger was about to explode, Roman said one thing. If you don't like it, I am willing to go to war. Either go to war with my family or apply for a battle of great warriors right away. It felt like his mind had stopped working. The emotions swirling within were far too much to handle, and Count Castro doubted if he was really hearing this. The choice is yours, Count Castro. War with Castro? Count Castro said. This is why you lowborn are a problem. Roman Dmitri, do you think you became some great person just because you had the attention of Marquis Benedict? You are the eldest son of Dmitri, and just because you defeated Butler doesn't mean you can even reach the toes of the Castro family. Being a part of the central government means having a lot of power. His attitude changed. Well, the opponent crossed the line. No matter how friendly he wanted them to be, it wouldn't make sense to be patient now. It was a matter of pride for the nobles, and Marquis Benedict was someone who had been on his side longer than Roman. Count Fabius. Since you have been watching this situation from the start, I'd like to ask you something. If I harm Roman Dmitri right now, explain to Marquis Benedict how things happened. Roman Dmitri had crossed the line, and I had to punish him appropriately. In the world of nobles, justification was needed. His opponent was a person in whom Marquis Benedict was interested. It wasn't difficult to trample the opponent, but he had to prepare for what might happen next. And if it was Count Fabius, then he was the right witness. Not only did he have a way with words, but he was also close to him. But... ahem. Count Fabius looked away after a couple coughs. As I watched the situation, it was clearly William's fault. Do you still want me as a witness? Count Castro, this isn't how things happen. If your son does something wrong, isn't it right to not hide behind wealth but make him receive the right punishment? I support Mr. Roman Dimitri's side. At that moment, his heart sank. Count Castro looked at Count Fabius with a puzzled face. What is this? This was the most unexpected development. Count Fabius had a title. Cairo's Raccoon. All the nobles of Cairo want to advance ahead. Among them, there are many people with outstanding abilities, but the ones who survive are those like him. Eyes that can read the right time. By doing business with people who will take care of him, he can succeed without much effort. Count Castro. He comes from a prestigious family in Cairo, is recognized by all, and has had a close relationship with Marquis Benedict since childhood. So, as soon as they entered the central government, I put a lot of effort into making this relationship with Count Castro work. Marquis Benedict is a man who can always join hands with the enemy for the sake of victory. Then there is one exception: blood ties. Marquis Benedict had already shown his intention to accept Roman Dimitri as his son-in-law, meaning that he would turn away from Count Castro. So, he assessed the situation carefully, so he made his decision. As I watched the situation, it was clearly William's fault. You ought to punish him for it. As Count Fabius stood at a crossroads in life, he put faith in his own personal experience. It was a different development than expected, and Count Castro was embarrassed. He never thought that he would turn down his request, so he couldn't hide his expression. See Count Fabius? His blood went cold. That title of Count Fabius. He knew from the beginning that this person was thoroughly calculating. It is clear that Cairo's Raccoon made a calculating move. Perhaps Count Fabius reasoned that supporting Roman Dimitri would be to his benefit. Damn it. Does this mean that Roman Dimitri is that great? It is certain that if we go to war with Dimitri, we will fall to hell then. He felt goosebumps. He decided to look at the situation objectively. You cannot run into such a mess just because of pride. He swallowed down his anger. Count Castro said with a forced expression. After listening to Count Fabius, I think I made a mistake, and I am really sorry. It was a matter concerning my son, and I lost my temper for a while. Count Fabius, thank you so much for clearly stating what mistake I have made. His attitude changed. Father! William Castro groaned. For him, it was as if the sky was about to fall. In this case, Roman deliberately crossed the line, and the reason was clear. The nobles of the central government always have the illusion that they have the upper hand. Now that my value is soaring, there is a chance that my family and I will be harmed by the envy of these people. That is why I need to show them who I am once in a while. Count Castro is a good example. Count Castro bowed his head. You will follow the words of Roman Dimitri. This is clearly your fault. You will be asking Roman Dimitri's younger brother for a reasonable apology, and I will withdraw you from the academy as soon as the work is done. Please understand the heart of your father just once. The situation changed, and Roman was quick to take advantage of it. Although he moved radically, his actions were always based on a good plan. Roman said while leaving. All right, we will end this with a direct apology and resignation. Thank you very much for your generosity. At that moment, William Castro's expression turned pale. His world collapsed. Witnessing his father express his gratitude with a bright face, William Castro looked at Roman. I am done for. That's when he realized the caliber of the opponent he faced. Roman Dimitri, a man of real power. At that time, Loren Dimitri was still in the academy. His excitement at being praised by the professor didn't subside, and he also wanted to meet Roman. It was then that a familiar face approached Loren. Loren! There is a problem! The person who came in was his classmate. The problem was that he was not a friend of Loren but one of those who tormented him with William. His expression went stiff. Now isn't the time to act tough. Your brother, Roman Dimitri, had an argument with William Castro. William was angry that you managed to hit him, so he was going on a rampage about breaking your arm. Your older brother heard it, and they headed to the Castro family's mansion. I don't know what your brother will do if we leave him alone. He looked shocked. What did it mean? Count Castro is more than capable of harming my brother. His heart sank. His own brother, Roman Dmitri, unable to bear words directed at him, went to the Castro family's mansion and put himself in a dangerous situation. Brother. Tears welled up in his eyes. If my brother gets hurt because of me, I will never be able to handle it. He ran right away. His eyes were filled with tears. Lauren Dmitri arrived at the dorm quickly and spoke into the magic communicator in a sorrowful voice. Dad, I think my brother is in danger. I think he went out to help me but then got taken to the Castro family. At those words, the person at the other end of the line was stunned. As he didn't know that the situation was over yet, he couldn't ignore the news Lauren delivered. Baron Romero cut off the communication. His face, which smiled brightly when he saw his youngest son, distorted so badly that his smile faded. That bastard Castro! Lauren is a child who doesn't ask for help unless it is serious. It must be a cause for concern. And if Lauren called in tears, then something must have happened to Roman. He asked Rihanna, What do you think we should do? As you know, the Castro family is a member of the central government, and has a close relationship with Marquis Benedict. He said it as calmly as he could, trying to calm his agitation. But contrary to what he expected, Rihanna had an angry face. Are you really saying that right now? Our relationship with the central government is a matter we can talk about at a later time. The problem we need to face is that the eldest son of Dmitri is in danger, and we, as parents, should be a fence for our children. The Dmitri family is strong and would never abandon their kids. So he made his decision. Even Rihanna would agree. Baron Romero had no reason to contain his anger any longer. He headed straight for the conference room and gave the order. Call the family vassals right now. It is an important issue, and no one should be absent. He finished summoning everyone. Even those who were dealing with their urgent tasks had immediately gathered when the Baron called. In Dimitri's conference room, the vassals of the family gathered in one place. Baron Romero looked at them with a stiff face. You must have heard the brief explanation on the way here. The eldest son of the Dmitri family, Roman Dmitri, now faces a dangerous situation due to the feud with the Castro family. According to Lauren, he had been taken to the Castro family's mansion. The opponent is Castro of the central government. I know what it means to deal with them, but I cannot sit and watch as my son is in danger. Even if the decision was made by the head, everyone was held responsible. Baron Romero was no tyrant, and always wanted to seek the consent of the vassals that made Dmitri. There will probably be a lot of opposition. It was now a matter of persuasion. He was preparing to answer any questions that might come up, but a different reaction was given. I agree. It was Jonathan, the commander of the Knights. He, who oversees the military force under Dmitri, spoke without hesitation. I understand what the Lord is worried about. It's dangerous to go up against someone in the central government, but isn't our goal to get Dmitri's eldest son? There's no need to spend time thinking about this. Young Master Roman Dmitri is a symbolic figure representing the Dmitri family, and we are ready to sacrifice our lives to protect that symbol. Suddenly, Hendrik spoke. I am going to prepare Dmitri's forge right now. Captain Jonathan, please tell us what we need for war. Young Master Roman is the future of Dmitri. It is unacceptable to touch young Master Roman. Castro or whatever, Lord. The blacksmiths of the smithies, the workers of the iron mines, and even the residents of Dmitri have all received a great favor from Roman Dmitri, and we are not people who deserve such grace. No one will object to this choice. So if you make the decision to go to war, please tell me firmly what I need to do. As the atmosphere changed, everyone's opinions were gathered. In response to the reactions that neither of them could afford to pass on, Baron Romero was surprised. To think they'd all be at such agreement to save Roman. Those of Dmitri have always pursued peace, but now, we'll be moving as one of the ruler of the Northeast region. The order was given. To prepare for war, all available manpower was mobilized. What? Is that true? The miners in the iron mine heard the news. The miners went to Master Jacob after hearing that they were planning a war to save Roman Dmitri. Where are those trash touching Dmitri's treasure? Call the miners right now! Even if we cannot fight on our own, we need to help the others prepare for war. Yes. Everyone moved. Baron Romero's orders didn't include the miners. It was time for them to take a break from their hard work, especially the night workers, who were supposed to sleep. But once Jacob's order was given, they moved without saying anything. Even the night workers, who couldn't sleep properly, got up with bright red eyes. Wake everyone up! Now is not the time to sleep! The blacksmiths worked. The fire was lit in the forge, with Hendrik and many other blacksmiths constantly working and checking the weapons. I think you all heard the news, young Master Roman is in danger. The sooner we finish this task, the quicker we can bring back our young master safely. There is a saying that one shouldn't move too late. I feel very fortunate to call Dmitri home. We are all grateful to the Dmitri family. So do not stop moving unless you are an ungrateful man. Hendrik spoke in a fiery voice. Everyone in Dmitri was focused on one goal and worked quickly together. It all happened in less than an hour after Lauren called. People in the capital could never predict what kind of bomb Lauren had dropped on the Dmitri estate. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment for next part. And subscribe to encourage me to entertain you more.